Hey y'all, Little Drummer Boy here. Hope you drumheads are doing well out there. And today I wanted to do a video about the monuments to Catawba County war dead and to Catawba County veterans. And so that's what I'm doing today. And I'm afraid that a lot of these monuments will not be here much longer. So I had an idea to do videos about these monuments for YouTube, and then a friend of mine told me I should do it for my YouTube channel. So that was like a confirmation from God that I should do these. So anyway, this is the Catawba County. I'm looking at Catawba County, North Carolina war memorials, and this is a cannon from the Civil War. Catawba County was founded in 1842, so all the veterans of the Revolution and the War of 1812 would be on the Lincoln County memorials, because Catawba County was part of Lincoln County until 1842. And this says 38 SCL SMM and Company, 1865. So, and it weighs 8,452 pounds. So this cannon was made at the end of the war in 1865. It is 155 years old. And as you would see, this thing would launch a huge, huge mortar. That's looking down the barrel. Then I want to look at the Confederate Monument to the Confederate veterans of Catawba County, of which some of my family, the Littles, were in. And by the way, for all of you crowd that say, for you guys that say these monuments belong in a museum, well, this is the Catawba County Historical Museum. It's the old 1924 courthouse. The original court square was built here in 1847. But it is now a museum, so this needs to stay right where it's at, because it's already at a museum, on museum property. And you see up there, you see an engraving of the Confederate battle flag with the soldier on top, to the Confederate soldiers of Catawba County, 1861 to 1865. And then here it says Confederate heroes. Now, you got to realize we're judging the past we're judging the people of the past from what's going on today. And so you have to realize, for all of the veterans, this monument was dedicated in 1907. So for all of the veterans who were living at that time, this would have meant a lot to them. What's going on, Todd?
How are you, brother?
Good. Just making a YouTube video about the monuments. I'm afraid they may be removed for long.
I should have invited you to the house Saturday, and I did not.
No problem.
And I did not know how to get a hold of you. But I'll give you my phone number after you get done,
okay,
and I'll have yours. Oh,
okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna go this way. What's your phone number?
828?
Yep.
468?
468
7076.
76. Okay, I'm calling you, so I've got it.
And it'll be on mine.
I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Les.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Les.
Have a good one, Todd.
Hey, happy day, brother.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
Thank you. I've got 3 boys. How many kids you got?
My Jack Russell Lady Dog, that's it.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You too.
And as you see here, it was erected by the people of Catawba County on August 15th, 1907. And then here it shows all the companies that were sent out, and members of other companies and regiments. So yeah, you can see in 1907, when this monument was erected in 1907, most of the Civil War veterans then would have been in their 60s and 70s. So you can imagine that this meant a lot to them. We're seeing things through modern eyes and not through the eyes of people then. You know, a lot of them were drafted and conscripted and didn't have a choice but to go. Most of them weren't slave owners. And this would have meant tons to their future. This would have meant tons to the veterans and their fallen comrades who didn't get to come home. The Old Soldiers Reunion was started here in 1889 as a reunion of Confederate veterans. And a lot of them, I've seen pictures, a lot of them had wooden legs, you know, they were missing a leg. And here's our 1924 Catawba County Courthouse, the old courthouse that was in use till about 1978 when the new courthouse was built, and they used to have public hangings off of these oak trees here at the courthouse. We probably need to get back to that. If we got back to public hangings, I'm sure it would cut out a lot of the murders and crimes. And then let's see, here is the War Memorial. This wall here shows all the Catawba County War dead. And as you can see here, these men from Catawba County died in the service of their country, 1861 to 1865. And if you're from Catawba County, most of us are German American, but if you're from Catawba County and your family was here 165 years ago, you can bet your name is on this memorial. I think I counted 595 or 695 names on here, and Catawba County would not have had a big population at that time. We only have 158,000 now. So 500-600 men and boys during that time would have been an astronomical amount of the population. And Klein, I'm a little, and Klein is a German name for little. It was translated into Kleins with the C, it was a K. Translated into Kleins with the C, little, shorts, and smalls. But as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Kleins were killed from Catawba County in the Civil War. I'll try to go slow enough so you can see if your family's name is on there. Pretty much all the names synonymous with Catawba County, you know, big family names. Look at all of the Huffmans. All the Hunsuckers, all the big family names are on here. And of course, Sigmund is the biggest family name in Catawba County, so there'll be tons of Sigmunds on here. And right here, I want to focus in on these three: George W. Little, James B. Little, and Joshua A. Little. These are all very common names in my family. I'm not exactly sure how these men were related to me. I had a great grandfather, George Little. I'm thinking this might have been his son because he would have been in his 60s during this time. And I never heard that he fought or was killed in the war. But 3 Littles were killed in the Civil War. To see some of these guys were, you know, they drafted from like 16 to 65, so during the Civil War, so a lot of these guys were boys, you know, were very young adults. But anyway, I'm hoping, you know, these monuments are all here at the museum, and I'm hoping they will stay intact. It's a crazy time we're living in, and history's not been taught. I saw where idiots tore down a statue to Union General Grant, who won the war to end slavery. I mean, he was on the right side, and later became, was a 2-term president. They tore down. They're just ignorant of history. And then here's the next war after the Civil War, Spanish-American War. And you see 4 Americans were killed in 1898, or 4 Catawba County men were killed in 1898 in the Spanish-American War, which was really was an unjust war. We had it just to take the Philippines. Teddy Roosevelt he was like the commander in charge and later became president, and then Jimmy Carter gave it back when he was president. But anyway, you see the 4 there who were killed in that one. The Mexican-American War, this one we fought to steal the West from Mexico. It's how we got California, but it was kind of divine providence, because the same year we got California, 1848, gold was discovered there. And of course the 49ers and the gold rush of 1849 began after that. And you see the Mexican War dead. There was 2, both Cheryls were killed in the Mexican War. And then we have, these are all the World War I and World War II dead. I don't know where one war starts and the other one ends, so I wish they would have kind of separated so we could tell. But here's the Catawba County World War I and II dead. Same thing, you've got, just about every big family name is on here. There's a Felix Little and a Peter Philip Little were killed, and I'm assuming on this side it's World War II. And I don't know how I'm related to them either. I need to do some genealogy to find out how I'm related to these heroes who gave all. And then these were the men who, Catawba County veterans who were killed in the Korean conflict. And Vietnam, a war we probably shouldn't have been into, but we were fighting communism, so anytime you're fighting communism, that's a good thing. But at the same time, it wasn't really our fight. And the Middle East conflicts, or the global jihad, I call it, it's the Muslims against the West, Christians and Jews, 1983 to present. Michael Mercer, Beirut. Bruce Delano Boggs, I grew up with him at First Baptist Claremont. He died in a helicopter crash in a thunderstorm in Florence, South Carolina, training 2 other pilots in out of Fort Bragg, and he was just getting ready to retire from the Army, 20 years, and go into flying medevac helicopters, and then he was killed in a thunderstorm. And then Benny Gray Cockerham III, Iraq. Jason L. Huffman, Iraq. Private First Class Brian Lee Holden, Iraq. Corporal Darrell Ward Linder, Iraq. And Christopher W. Eckerd, sergeant in Afghanistan. And y'all, that's the Catawba County War Memorial. I'm gonna try to do some of these around surrounding counties too, because I'm afraid this history is going to be taken down, and somebody needs to chronicle it. You know, 2 books of the Bible are called Chronicles, and they're about history. Because God wants history to be recorded, not destroyed. That way you can learn from it, right or wrong. Let's go over here for a minute. Here is a M.L. McCorkle, 1817-1899, Superior Court Judge, a founder of Catawba College, which was founded originally here in Newton, State Senator and Confederate Colonel. His home stood here. And then there's another historical marker that has to do with the Civil War right down here. Come visit Newton, y'all. It is a beautiful and historic little town. It's our county seat, the oldest city in Catawba County. Catawba County was formed out of Lincoln County in 1842, and Newton was built as the county seat the next year in 1843. It's the railroad came here, but it's the only city in Catawba County that did not grow up on the railroad. The rest of the cities in Catawba County, including Hickory, are railroad towns. This is about the Stoneman's raid through western North Carolina. On a Civil War raid through western North Carolina by General George Stoneman's U.S. Cavalry, troops commanded by Colonel William J. Palmer passed through Newton on April 17, 1865, burned the Confederate commissary depot, the county jail, and shot and killed Confederate Captain Charles F. Connor. And I know and am friends with some of the Connor family. They're very prominent family in the area. They were back then. One of their ancestors was the biggest slaveholder in Catawba County, and he went to Congress in the 1820s, and he came back and sold all of his slaves and reinvested in grist mills, because he knew from his time in Washington that slavery was a doomed institution. And so he sold his slaves, got out of slavery, and reinvested his money in grist mills and kept the family fortune. So anyway, I hope y'all are having a great day. Keep history alive, y'all. The good, the bad, the ugly. You know, I'm glad we won World War II, but I'm also glad that Mitsubishi Zeros and Messerschmitts have been restored and are still flying. You know, we need to keep history alive and learn from it. The good, the bad, the ugly. Peace out, y'all.